All right, so today we're jumping right into some of the most mind-blowing engineering projects on the entire planet. And they're all happening in one place, rising out of the truly unique landscape of China.
Yeah, that quote, it just nails the feeling of what we're about to see. I mean, we're talking about futuristic megastructures, right? Engineering marvels that look like they're straight up defying nature. And you've got to understand, these aren't just buildings and bridges. Oh no, they are massive statements of intent. Okay, to really get a feel for this, let's start in a city called Chongqing. Now, this is not your average city, not by a long shot. It's literally built on mountains with huge rivers like the Yangtze cutting right through it. So what you get is this absolutely jaw-dropping vertical world. We're talking elevated highways, bridges stacked on top of bridges, tunnels on multiple levels. It honestly feels like you've walked onto the set of a sci-fi movie.
And this is where it gets just wild. When your geography is this extreme, you have to come up with some unbelievably creative solutions. Picture this. You're running out of space completely. So what do the engineers do? They designed the city's metro system to run directly through an apartment building. I'm not kidding. It goes right through the 6th to 8th floors at Liziba Station. It's such a brilliant and honestly kind of surreal way to solve a problem. So that kind of creativity, it doesn't just stop at the city limits. It goes way beyond that. Which brings us to our first big idea here, how these incredible projects are designed to basically conquer some of the toughest natural challenges on the planet.
I mean, that sounds like a riddle, right? How do you make a cargo ship climb a mountain? But for engineers working on the Wu River, with its super steep changes in elevation, this was a real problem they had to solve. And their answer? Wow. It's one of the most incredible things you'll ever see.
And here's how they do it. It's basically a giant elevator for ships. A massive vessel, we're talking 3,000 tons, just sails into this chamber full of water. The doors close up, and then the whole thing, ship, water, and all, is lifted straight up the side of the dam. Just like that, you've connected regions that used to be completely cut off from each other by the terrain. Amazing.
Okay, so that's how they deal with going up. What about going across? Let's talk about mastering distance, because China is home to some of the longest and highest bridges ever built, and every single one is a monumental feat of engineering.
Let's just try to wrap our heads around the scale here. 165 kilometers. To put that in perspective for you, imagine a single bridge stretching from, say, downtown Paris almost all the way to the border with Belgium. It's just this one continuous structure that lets high-speed trains glide over anything in their path, rivers, fields, even entire cities.
And it's not just about how long they are, it's how high they are. The Derje Bridge, man, it spans this absolutely breathtaking canyon, and it's so high up, it looks like it's just floating in the clouds. I mean, it literally towers over some of the most famous buildings in the entire world.
But maybe the ultimate challenge, the final boss of engineering, was conquering the roof of the world. We're talking about the Qinghai-Tibet Railway. It operates at altitudes where there's just not enough oxygen. So how'd they solve it? Well, the train cars are fully pressurized, kind of like an airplane, and they even pump in extra oxygen for the passengers. It's an incredible solution that opened up a vital connection to a place that was, for a long time, almost completely isolated. All right, so we've seen how this incredible ambition has been used to tame nature. Now, let's shift gears and see how that same drive is being used to build the cities of the future. And in the process, completely redefining what a city can even be. Over in Shanghai, you've got the rise of the super tall skyscraper. The Shanghai Tower is just a beast, standing at 632 meters. And that cool spiraling design, that's not just to look good. It's actually crucial for keeping the building stable against powerful typhoon winds. But get this, near the very top, there are 270 wind turbines that generate about 10% of the building's power. That's a huge clue to a bigger idea here, building sustainability right into the DNA of these new megastructures. And we're also seeing this amazing trend of architecture that's directly inspired by nature. You see it everywhere. There's Raffles City in Chongqing, which seriously looks like a giant sailboat on the horizon, or the Harbin Opera House, which looks like it was carved out of a windswept snowdrift. And then there's my favorite, the Intercontinental Hotel, which was built downwards, into the side of an abandoned quarry. So cool.
Okay, this next concept is just so smart. In Chengdu, they took the whole idea of a shopping mall and completely flipped it upside down. At the SKP Park, all the stores, all the commercial space, it's all built underground. Why? So that the entire surface could be turned into a huge public park. It's this incredible gift of green space right back to the people in a super dense city. It's a powerful way of saying, hey, public well-being is just as important as shopping.
So these physical buildings they're astounding, right? But what about the stuff you can't see? The invisible infrastructure that actually makes it all work? What's really going to power the city of tomorrow? Well, the answer isn't in concrete and steel. And that brings us to our final piece of the puzzle, the digital frontier. This is where the engineering is happening on a totally different level. We're talking data, we're talking AI, robotics, and believe me, the scale of it all is just as mind-bending as those giant bridges. At the heart of all this digital stuff is just raw computing power. The supercomputing center in Chengdu has a machine that can do, wait for it, a quadrillion calculations per second. A quadrillion. But here's the cool part. Most data centers are these boring, hidden away boxes. Not this one. They designed it to be a stunning piece of public art, a giant cube that actually changes color with the light. And speaking of power, you have to hear this quote. It's used to describe the fast radio telescope, the biggest and most sensitive one in the world. Its job is to listen for super faint signals from deep space, from distant galaxies and pulsars. I mean, it's pushing the absolute limits of what we can hear from the universe. So all that massive digital power, it's fueling a revolution in another area, robotics. Places like Chongqing are becoming huge hubs for developing bipedal robots. And the goal here is way bigger than just robots for factories. We're talking in the next 5 to 10 years about having affordable robots that you can actually have a conversation with, that can recognize how you're feeling and even act as companions. That could totally reshape everything from how we care for the elderly to just our everyday lives. And maybe the perfect symbol for this fusion of engineering and art is this. Forget fireworks. Instead, imagine thousands of drones, all lit up, all perfectly synchronized, literally painting stories in the night sky, creating these incredible, complex animations. It's just a breathtaking show, and it's all powered by super precise GPS and some incredibly smart software. So when you think about it, from cities that literally climb mountains to telescopes that can listen to the farthest corners of the universe, we've seen projects that really do seem impossible. And it makes you wonder, right? It all leads to this one big question. When engineering reaches a point where it feels like you can build almost anything, what should we build next? What are the problems we're going to choose to solve? What is our future really going to look like?